Alright, a lot of people wanted to know how to play this riff, whatever it's called. People wanted to know how to play Matte Black by Suicide Boys, riff that I made for it. This is the tutorial right here. First thing, so this is the start right here. Oh, my guitar, alright bro, wow. So you're gonna start. That's the intro right there. A line between me and you just follow it with the melody. This is standard tuning. Standard tuning. So on the A string, 8th fret of the A string, that's where you're going right here. Fret of the A string, you start right there. Hit that 3 times, sorry. Bend the 8th fret up to the 9th fret. 1, 2, 3, and then bend. And then 2 more hits. And then you're gonna go down to the 6th fret. You're gonna hammer on the 8th fret. So 8th fret, bend, and then hit the 6th fret, and then tap onto the 8th fret again. And then 1 more hit, and bend it if you want to make it sound cool. And then all together that sounds like. That's the intro right there. Next part, that's the intro. We're on the main riff section, which is, let me show you the whole thing. So that's the next part. 6th fret of the low E string. Why is it so dark in my room all of a sudden? 6th fret of the low E string, 8th fret of the A string. And then you hit it twice. Back to the low E. You go to the 9th fret. 9th fret of the A string. Slide down to the 8th fret. So and it's just E and A. All you're using is E and A on different frets. So it's just. And then the next part is so all that is just E6 A 8 again, and then 1 more E, and then you go down to the 6th fret on the A string. And then you go right back up to the 8th fret after you hitting the E 1 more time. Right? Not too hard. So it's all just E and A. That's all you need to know. Once you do that, you can sniff it out. But it's just. And then you go all the way down to the 1st fret of the E string. Hit that twice. And then now you have this. And then that's the second part. So then you put that last part on this part together, you got. And there you go. So that's that first section. This is the next part. Honestly, not that different at all. It's basically the exact same thing. Once you do the 2 low E strings, you're gonna go to the 4th fret of the E string, 4th fret of the E string. That note right there. And then you're gonna go to the 8th fret of the A string, which is a big stretch. You could go over here, but that's just how I do it. So. That's the 8th fret right there. That's the 8th fret right there. So 4, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4, 8. So 4, E, 8, A. And then you just do a slide. Why is it getting so bright and dark in my room? So from 6 to 8, you slide up on the A. And I would do it with your pinky, so and then in total that looks like. So then yeah, once you do that slide, let's go right back to the 4, then hit that 8 again, then hit that 4 again, then go up to the 9, hit that 4 again, then hit that 8 again. You put that all together and you go. then this next part right here, I'll show you what it sounds like. So that's the part. How do you play that is you start with. So all that is one on the E, twice, then go up to the 2 on the E, then back to the 1. So now you got this. No other notes, just that low E, and then you go hit that E 3 more times, that number 1 on the E. So then it sounds like this. And then you go to the 3rd fret on the A string, and then you tap or you fret 4th low E string. So then that gives you this. 4 on the E, 3 on the D, and then you tap onto 6 on the D, sorry. This is 6, right? This is 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So 4 on the E, and then 3 on the D, and then you tap onto 6 on the D. So that gives you, and then you just go back to the E. So then that's what you got so far. And then you go, so you take 4 on the A, you slide up to 8 on the A. So you go from 4 to 8 on the A. So you slide up 4 frets on the A from the 4th fret. And then from there you got this. And then you're gonna go tap right back on the E, the 4 on the E. And you're just gonna hit the 6th fret on the A. So now this is what you got. And then from there it's just power chords. Now what power chords are is the root, the octave, and the 5th, right? I think that's a power chord. That's a power chord. The root, the octave, and the 5th. I think. So you take a note, then you take the octave, and then you put the 5th in. I think that's a 5th. And that's a power chord. So that's what I used for that. This next session is go 6 on the low E, 8 on the D and the A string, 6 E, 8 D, 8 A. So then you get this chord. Take that shape and slide the entire thing down 2 frets. So now you're on 4 on the low E, 6 on the A, and 6 on the D. And then you're gonna slide again, which is now 2 on the E, and then 4 on the A and the D. So it's these 3 chords. And you just slide down the same shape, the whole thing. And then 1 more fret, which is 1 on the E, 3 on the A, and the D. So now you got, and then you're gonna hit that fret 1 more time. Slide it up. Slide it up to 4 on the low E, and then 6 on the D and the A. And then all together you have this. So then that's that part right there. Alright, and next you got this last part. So it sounds complicated, but it's really not that complicated. I'll show you, okay? So all it is 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on the low E, and then you're gonna go 6 on the low E, then A down 2 frets. So okay, 6 on the low E, and then 6 on the A, and then slide it down 2 frets. So 4. So this leaves the low E and the low A. Then go back up to the E. And now instead, you're gonna take the low A, from the 6th fret and slide it up 2 frets instead of down 2 frets. And then you're gonna hit the low E one more time, and then hit the A on the 6th fret, sorry, on the 8th fret twice. And from there you got so this part, the whole thing is you hit the 8th fret of the A string twice, and then you hit the low E on the 6th fret twice. So then you got, and then you go down to the 2nd fret on the low E twice, and then you hit the low E on the 1st fret 3 times. So then you got, and altogether that looks like, and that's how you get that sound. And then the next part is this part. So all that is so 4th fret on the low E, and then take the 4th fret on the A and slide it up to the 6th fret, and then go back to the low E, and then you're gonna go 6th fret on the low A and slide it up 2 again. So now you have, just gonna go low E again, and then tap the 8th fret again. So now you got, and that, I mean, all that is just hitting the 4th fret on the low E multiple times. But then I added an effect on to make it cut out. So yeah, that's the riff. Here's what it sounds like all together. I'm not gonna play it because I can't. I haven't played it in so long, but I'll play the audio. If you followed the steps that I gave you through the whole thing, you'll be able to play it. So this is what the riff sounds like on its own. So yeah, that's the riff. You play that along with this. Here, I'll play it with the audio too. So yeah, that's the riff. If you need any help with figuring something out or something's still confusing you, just put a comment down. I'll correct it or I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? That's the riff. If y'all want to learn any other of the riffs that I post, I can always do a tutorial on those too. But yeah, so that's the riff. If you have any other questions, again, you just leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you. I promise. I was supposed to do this 3 days ago. I forgot, to be honest. I forgot, so my fault. That's the riff, so happy learning. Some shit, I don't fucking know.